The markets are closed, but the business stories are just heating up. Hello, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Catch up with us on Business Brief. The Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry is optimistic about President Bongbong Marcos's recent cabinet reshuffle. PCCI President Nina Mangio praises the appointments of Ralph Recto as Executive Secretary and Frederick Go as Finance Secretary. She says Recto's fiscal expertise and Go's experience in investment promotion could strengthen economic stability and attract investors. She adds that the business community hopes the reshuffle will restore public trust. She also pledges continued support for reforms aimed at boosting competitiveness and creating new opportunities for Filipino enterprises. President Bongbong Marcos has sworn in Ralph Recto as Executive Secretary and Frederick Go as Acting Finance Secretary. The ceremony took place this morning in Malacanang. Their appointments come after last week's cabinet shakeup, which followed the resignations of Lucas Bersamin as Executive Secretary and Budget Chief Amina Pangandaman, who were both dragged into the flood control scandal. As the little president, Recto says he plans to sharpen governance, track agency performance, and maximize their outputs. He also wants to cut through political noise and ensure that the government delivers on its promises to Filipinos. Earlier, Ralph Recto bid an emotional farewell to the Department of Finance. He thanked employees, calling his time at the DOF one of the greatest honors of his life. Recto described his 2 years at the agency as demanding but deeply rewarding, made lighter by what he called the smartest, sharpest, and most principled public servants in government. He praised staff for standing firm on truth, fiscal discipline, integrity, and good governance, saying the lessons and grit he gained will guide him in his new role as Executive Secretary. Broadcaster Mon Tulfo has raised concerns about the reach of corruption in Philippine government, suggesting it could extend to former Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin. Speaking on BNC's The Spokes, Tulfo said that if Bersamin is found guilty, he should face prosecution like other high-profile officials. Bersamin, recently implicated in the flood control scandal, resigned amid mounting scrutiny.
And how high up should someone be prosecuted?
High up.
As high as?
Di ba yung si Bersamin mukhang kasama eh?
Correct.
O, di ba yung little president?
Right.
The former little president. Eh, dapat kung guilty siya, dapat ikulong siya.
So yan you said, so you're looking at the executive branch, the highest being Bersamin,
Yes.
the little president, and then sa legislative naman, on the legislature side. The senators are already being prosecuted.
Kasama na sila, di ba? Sila Joel, si Jinggoy. Si Jinggoy hindi na nadala yan.
Kasama po si Pogi, di ba? Si Senator Revilla din, kakasuhan.
Oh, hindi rin nadala yan. Hindi nadala. Magkasama yan sila sa kulungan, di ba?
Tulfo also expressed support for Senate President Tito Soto stepping in as caretaker president in a scenario where the president or even vice president resigns. He described Soto as intelligent and capable, noting that his long-running television career has mostly shaped his public image and leadership persona.
But the other formula was, assuming it happened, the withdrawal support will ask both president and vice president to
resign.
Are you in favor of that if ever that happened? And then let SP Tito Soto take over. It's also in the Constitution. Then he will call for a special election as a caretaker president.
Maganda kung si Tito Soto, magandang kanya na. Kasi si Tito ay matinong tao. Akala lang natin komedyante yan. Si Tito, classmate ko yan sa Letran eh.
Okay.
He graduated na pinakabata sa amin dahil 2 beses yan na-accelerate.
Oh, matalino.
Matalino si Tito. Kaya lang siguro yung imahe niya na project ay dahil yung doon sa ano yun, yung may TV show sila na School Bukol. School Bukol, diba? Akala ng mga tao kung gano'n siya. Matalino si Tito.
Former Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin has denied resigning, contradicting Malacanang's claim that he quit the cabinet. Bersamin said he never filed a resignation letter and doesn't know how reports about his departure started. He also denied involvement in the flood control issue, insisting he never assured former DPWH Chief Manuel Banahaw of the supposed 52 billion peso budget insertions. The controversy follows Senator Panfilo Lacson's remark that Bersamin would, quote, take care of the 52 billion peso insertions. In other news, the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development reassigns Metro Manila Director Norman Doral to its Soxergen office amid mounting complaints. Doral is accused of gross misconduct and abuse of authority for reinstating a disputed Homeowners Association board in multinational village Parañaque, despite a 2021 ruling barring its members. The Ombudsman is also investigating other agency officials involved. The complainants are among residents opposing a planned 8-hectare development in the village. Business and agriculture groups have mixed reactions to news that some Philippine agricultural products are now duty-free to the United States. We have the details from our reporter Paolo Barcelon, who's joining us on the line now. Hi, Paolo. Go ahead.
Mai farmers and exporters say the latest move to exempt some Philippine agricultural products from U.S. tariffs is a welcome win, but much more needs to be done. Federation of Free Farmers President Leonardo Montemayor says government and the agri sector must work to make local products more competitive and attractive to foreign buyers.
Ang problema natin sa agriculture compared, let's say, even to our neighbors, hindi tayo competitive in most product categories. Mataas yung ating production costs, tapos we have inefficiencies sa logistical logistics of bringing our products domestically all the way to the export market. So we have a lot of homework that must be done.
Exporters, meanwhile, want stronger support from government. PhilExport President Sergio Ortiz Luis says the country must invest more in diversifying its export destinations and boosting market development, not just relying on the United States.
Lip service mostly. So budgeting, wala. DTI, we're supposed to be in charge of export and other areas. Wala halos budget compared to the others. Very pathetic. We can even develop our markets sa mga exhibition lang. Nakakahiya tayo. Wala tayong funding for our exporters like what our neighbors in Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, they support their exporters.
The DTI says it continues to explore new export markets with several trade agreements expected to be signed by 2026. Agriculture Secretary Francisco Tiu Laurel also points out that coconut production remains strong nationwide, with coconut exports to the U.S. totaling $600 million in 2024. Mai.
Thank you for that report, Paolo Barcelon. We're taking a short break. More stories are up next. You're watching Business Brief. You're back on Business Brief. Cloudflare, the US-based web infrastructure company, has fixed a major outage that knocked internet services for thousands. Social network X, formerly Twitter, ChatGPT, and the video game League of Legends all went dark Tuesday for countless users. Cloudflare says a hidden software bug caused the crash, highlighting the fragility of the systems that keep the internet running. The government is cracking down on big tech. social media platforms that fail to protect users could face a ban. The head of the Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center, Renato Paraiso, warns there's zero tolerance for online scams, deepfakes, and illegal content. On BNC's Tech Bites, Paraiso said the DICT may block sites that don't remove harmful material. Enforcement still leans on platform cooperation with AI monitoring as backup.
We told them that if this continues and we don't see any improvement, there is a possibility that we might block them from the Philippine sphere.
With 78% of Filipinos online, or roughly 91 million users, officials say stronger action is needed to protect the public from cyber threats. Former National Security Advisor Dr. Clarita Carlos believes the country needs to pursue charter change. On BNC's At the Forefront, she said despite the ongoing controversies, amending the Constitution would be beneficial for the Philippines.
Ang Constitution will really be for the next generation. It will not be for this leadership. Yan dapat ang ayusin natin, Attorney Karen. Structural change will change behavior of people. So, siguro sa 2028 ballot, maglagay sila ng isang question doon. Do you want to revise the 87 Constitution? Yes or no? Tapos nun, either con us or whatever, initiative.
Deputy House Speaker Ronaldo Puno recently filed a bill to convene a constitutional convention or CONCON no later than July 2026. Hydropower developers say current incentives fall short and are seeking higher feed-in tariffs for run-of-river projects. They argue the proposed 6.30 peso rate doesn't cover development, financing, or compliance costs. The Energy Department is planning 100 megawatts of new hydro, but developers want output-based pricing and safeguards against weather risks. The government has awarded more than 404 hydro contracts, totaling 14,500 megawatts. Energy Secretary Sharon Garin says hydropower is critical to reducing fuel imports and stabilizing the grid. A proposal to build windmills in Mount Banahaw has been shut down by the local government of Lucban. On BNC's Weather HQ, Municipal Councilor Mai Rodriguez, chair of Lucban's Committee on Environment, said they're committed to protect Mount Banahaw's ecology and the safety of local communities. The biodiversity and ecosystem of Mount Banahaw are legally protected under RA 9847, which categorizes it as a protected landscape.
Napakalakas po ng panawagan ng aming taong bayan na tutol sila dito sa windmill. Dahil takot nga pong mangyari sa aming bayan, yun ang nangyayari ngayon sa iba't ibang lugar na bumabaha dulot ng mga development sa mas mataas na lugar.
Although the local government supports renewable energy, Borina says Lucban is unsuitable for its development. We're taking another breather. A look at how Philippine shares did today when we return. Stay tuned. Philippine shares bounced back into positive territory in the third trading day of the week. The PCCI ended almost 1% higher to 58.13. Among the sectoral indices, only mining and oil closed in the red, with financials rising the most at nearly 2%. Advancers outpaced decliners 112 to 61, with value turnover reaching 6.2 billion pesos. The day's most active stocks were mixed, with Metrobank rising the most at nearly 3%. ICTSI fell the most at 0.8%. On currencies, the peso trades at 58.91 against the US dollar, up from the previous close of 58.99. Globe Telecom secures a 7.7 billion peso loan from Mizuho Bank. This will fund capital expenditures, debt refinancing, and general corporate needs. The Ayala-led telco spent 31.4 billion pesos on capex in the first 9 months of 2025, down 23% from 41 billion pesos the previous year, as it adopted a more strategic approach to investments. Globe maintains its full-year guidance of keeping capital spending below 55 billion. The company says its cash capex to revenue ratio improved to 26% from 33%, while capex to EBITDA fell to 49% from 63%, reflecting stronger capital efficiency. About 89% of spending continues to target data-related projects, supporting network initiatives and free cash flow as Globe expands digital connectivity nationwide. San Miguel Corporation President Ramon Ang makes a fashion statement. Pictures posted by car showroom Park and Sell show the billionaire in slippers posing with staff members. Unlike his usual attire, complementing Ang's fit was a plain blue t-shirt and a pair of cozy pants. Asian shares pull back in cautious trading ahead of Nvidia's earnings report, seen as a bellwether for the recent AI tech rally. Singapore's Straits Times holds steady with a slight upside, while other regional markets trade lower. On currencies, the US dollar strengthens against the Hong Kong dollar and South Korean won. It remains flat against the Singapore dollar and the baht, but weakens against the yen. The Australian dollar also softens against the greenback. In commodities, gold climbs by over 0.6%, while oil prices show a mixed trend. In cryptocurrencies, both Bitcoin and Ethereum are down by more than 2%. Warner Brothers Discovery is pressing Paramount to up its bid to $30 a share, putting the company's value at about $74 billion. The media powerhouse behind HBO, CNN, and DC superhero blockbusters is at the center of a fierce takeover battle. Paramount Skydance has reportedly offered $23.50 per share, 80% cash, 20% stock. Meanwhile, Warner Brothers Discovery has denied forming a $71 billion consortium with Middle Eastern sovereign wealth funds. That's a wrap for today's Business Brief. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Join us again tomorrow as we bring you the stories that help you plan your next big, bold moves in business. Only here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel.